What's up, guys? I wanted to make a quick video, kind of two-purpose video. First off, as you can see, people have asked to see my whole Strider collection because some people know that I've had a big Strider kick lately, and it really, a lot of people ask why I'm selling knives lately, and I'm not selling knives to buy more knives. I'm not selling knives because I need to sell knives. I'm just selling a lot of knives because I don't need so many. I found a couple brands that I really like, a couple brands that I've really liked for a while now, and I've just come to realize that I don't need so many knives to be happy. So I'm getting into a cycle where I'll buy knives. So I have, I think, 11 Striders here. I may weed this down to 5 in a month. I don't know. So I'm trying more knives in a certain brand range now. So I'm kind of, I'm not buying everything I see that I think I may like in the hopes that I'm going to like it and going to carry it. I'm focusing on a couple of brands that I like, and I'm trying new things in those brands to weed out what I do like, what I don't like. And my goal is to weed my whole collection down into I don't know, maybe 10 or 12 knives that I absolutely love, that I just rotate between. So I don't want to have so many knives, so much money tied up into it, even though it's fun and it's really fun to get carried away. It's not all that healthy, I think. So I'm going to try and limit myself, and if it costs money to handle a whole variety like I have here and eventually weed it down, then so be it. Life's short. I'm not trying to tell people not to go buy what you want, because I'm definitely a firm believer in the fact that life is short, and if you're not making yourself happy while you're here, then what's the point of being here? So you can't take your money with you as long as your family's right, and as long as they're set, and if you have children, as long as they're set. If you want to go spend money on knives, then go do it. If that's what makes you happy, by all means, go do it. Who is to say that you should not go do things that you want to do just because other people don't find it acceptable? I don't think that's a good way to live at all. So some people may find this excessive. I actually find it excessive. That's why I'm having some sales going on, and I'll be selling a few of these coming up soon. But yeah, so what? It's the pursuit of happiness. So what makes me happy is not going to make you happy, and what makes you happy is not going to make me happy. So don't know why I'm getting off on this soapbox, but main point of this video was I wanted to show all of the Striders that I have and kind of talk about this brand specifically. And I also wanted to talk about, give a shout out to a guy that is a Strider dealer, and he's become what I would consider a friend. And he's an amazing person to deal with if you're looking to buy Striders, CRKs. He carries a lot of brands, honestly. And I don't do these kind of things lightly. I don't make videos supporting people really much at all, because it's a dangerous thing to do, because if you don't know the person well, then it's my name also. If I endorse somebody and they end up not doing somebody right, or any plethora of things, it reflects on me as well. So I don't do this very often. So before I get into the whole Strider thing, I'd like to give some recognition to MattD Tactical. I'm going to put his name down in the description of the video. The guy is, I met him at Blade Show of 2010. I think it was Blade Show 2010 or 2011. 2011. Went to Blade Show and met him. He met me and Chelsea, which is my wife. I have some new viewers now, so I don't know if somebody out there may not know who that was. So me and Chelsea walked up to his booth, and I was looking to buy my very first Strider, and he knew how bad I wanted it, so he got out some knives that he was looking to sell the next day at the show, but he let me grab them instead, and I thought that was amazing. He actually let me walk away from the booth. I grabbed a $475 knife from him, and he said, just bring me the money when you get a chance. So I grabbed the knife, thanked him, went to the ATM machine. Probably took me 30 minutes in total to get back to his booth and hand him the money. He trusted me enough to take his knife and go get the cash and bring it back to him. He didn't know me. I could have walked away and he would have never seen my face again if I wanted to do that. So that's the kind of guy he is. He'll help you out if you need help. The contact number on his website goes straight to his cell phone. If you call that number, he picks up and he's ready to do whatever it is you need to do. As far as service and communication and everything like that, he's top notch. And not doing this because I think he's a friend of mine. He's not giving me anything to do it at all. Just like Strapman, Robert Barber, when I did a video on Strapman, I do it because I really believe in the person, and I like Matt a lot, and any way that I can help him, I'd be more than happy to do it, and you guys can benefit from it as well. He carries a lot of Straters, gets in CRKs, gets in customs, so he's not a super high turnover shop, so he doesn't have a ton of knives in all the time, so he's really able to hone his service in on the few people at a time that he's dealing with, and he does get customs in. He does get really sought after knives in, like Z-Ware SNG. Not a lot of people got these at all. Not many people at all got these Z-Ware SNGs, and he was one of the people that got them. So definitely one of the better Stratter dealers out there, if not the best. So you guys should definitely check him out. You can let him know I sent you, that's fine. If not, that's fine as well. Just check his shop out and keep an eye out on his site, because he gets some really, really interesting stuff in, and it really flies under the radar. Not a lot of people know about him. These Z-Ware SNGs were just sitting there ready for the taking. So he gets some of the better Stratter stuff in, and it's not flooded as soon as it gets up. So it gives you an opportunity to get the stuff definitely reasonable prices too. He's actually, I know of a couple of times where he's worked on that with people. So check him out, MattD Tactical. The information is going to be in the description, and I may post a little bubble right here that leads to his site. Great dude, based out of Virginia. Really good guy. So anyway, the rest of the things, or the rest of the idea of this video was to talk about Stratter. Obviously you can see that I like them. First bought my Stratters from Matt in 2011. It was a double gunner grip SMF and a Lego SMF. Sold those within a year. Wasn't for me. Didn't like them all that much. Well, actually, let me rephrase that. I love the Stratters. Didn't like the fact that they had lock rock. And I honestly just didn't know much about knives at that point. I didn't know as much as I do now, most definitely. So it was one of those things where I sold them and quickly regretted it. Very quickly regretted it. So I got back on the Stratter kick, and from 2 years ago till now is when I've accumulated all this stuff. And I've had a few in that I've sold and all that kind of stuff. But these have been accumulated over almost 2 years, so it's not like I went out and bought 11 Stratters yesterday. The main thing, I'll just run through it here. I have Z-Ware SNG, Lego, 3V SNG, Lego, Tanto, CTS XHP Lego, another one, double gunner grip, CPM 154 SNGs, CPM 154 CC SMFs, and Z-Ware double gunner grip SNG. And the reason I've got so much variety is because I'm really trying to hone in on what I like. I know with SMF I like double gunner grip and I like CC. So I'll never buy, I won't say I'll never buy, probably won't buy Lego SMF anymore. I know with SNGs I like Lego better than double gunner grip or CC. It's just too thin. So I think from now on I'll be going with Lego SNGs. So the whole point of buying all these is to figure out what I like, what I don't like, and narrow it down. Also, an interesting thing, and one big reason that I wanted to make this video and have all these out here, is because I've owned more than this and sold more than this lately. At one point in time, I think I had 14 Striders a couple months ago. Out of those 14 that I've owned with the new generation stuff, I have yet to have one that didn't have absolutely dead perfect lockup. They may all not be super early. I know this one isn't super early, although a lot of people would still consider this fairly early. If I could get it to focus. Just bear with me. So what I wanted to show here was that this knife doesn't have super early lockup, but I did want to show that it has very solid lockup. We're sitting at probably 45%. Something I wanted to show is that there is not one corner that's hitting it. The corner has now become a big contact area, and it just kind of wedges itself into the blade absolutely perfectly. And because this happens, there's zero, absolutely zero movement. I cannot push the lock bar in any further, and it doesn't stick, as you can see. Strider has 100% perfected the titanium frame lock. Also wanted to say, titanium, and this is something I've learned fairly recently from reading a book by a pretty well-known knife maker. Titanium frame locks will work harden. So this SMF probably started at 15%, worked over to 45%, has absolutely perfect lockup, will not bind, will not fail, doesn't rock, doesn't slip. It doesn't need to be carbonized, and that's because titanium work hardens. So this titanium lock bar is, on the point of contact, work hardened. And yes, titanium is softer than steel. Titanium is very much less wear resistant than steel, at least this type of steel. So even though those factors come into play, this will not wear fast much at all. Will not wear fast at all, not much if any, which I know it's going to wear over many years. But what I wanted to get, the point I wanted to get across is that these are some of the best titanium frame locks on the market available right now, hands down. I know there's a lot of differing opinions on this stuff, but I've owned many titanium frame locks, a lot of very high-end stuff, and these are effectively and functionally the best titanium frame locks that I think you can buy right now. I want to make a point, and Kylie Harris is the first to make this point that I saw. One reason titanium frame locks are not, I'm not going to get into that. One weakness that titanium frame locks have is that people who are proponents of early lockup, and I most definitely was a proponent of early lockup, I still am in some regards. People who are really huge proponents of early lockup have forgotten to mention one fact, and I'm super guilty of this as well. And that fact is that under load, this piece, the blade tang, is going to shear off that part of the lock bar, and it's going to fail. So if there were to be a load placed on this blade, this early lockup and absolutely tiny contact point will shear right off. And Kylie Harris has demonstrated this a couple of times, I think, but the only time I've watched is on the ZT 550 or 560. Lock face sheared off, and it's really logical if you think about it. It's 100% logical. So while I still am a proponent of early lockup, I'm not the same as I used to be. This was considered perfect lockup in my eyes. Used to be what I thought was perfect lockup. If you can put a light behind this and show the actual contact, it has a very tiny corner section of this lock bar that is contacting the blade. Do you know how fast that will deform or get sheared off if there were to be a load applied to this? It would be really fast. Your knife would fail much it would fail much quicker than you ever thought it would. This design is going to be a lot less prone to that happening than even a Hinderer would. And I think Strider capitalized on this idea, because out of all these that I have here, almost every one of them came with early lockup, what I would consider right at 20%. All of them that I've carried have worn in to about this area right here. But a key thing to note is that the corner, the sharp corner that was digging into the blade and sticking, wore away and turned into a convex area. I don't want to say it's convex. It's definitely not square anymore. So you have a little ramp there, which I'm hoping you can see. This new camera I'm still getting used to, so please bear with me. But I'll do a macro of this pretty soon if I can figure out how to get this to cooperate. The very, very tiny contact area has now turned into a little ramp that literally just fits right into the blade tang, and the force of pressure being applied to this blade, the force is going to be spread out over a much larger area. So the whole point of this droning on and on is to say that this lock, I truly believe, will withstand more force, last longer, and in essence function better than Hinderer titanium frame locks. And the last longer, that's debatable. There's no evidence. I've never heard of a titanium frame lock completely wearing out. So I can't say which one will last longer, so I actually retract that statement. But I truly believe, and this is solely opinion based, Strider is doing the best titanium frame lock you can have today. Chris Reeve is actually moving away from the design that he invented. As you know, the 25 has the ball interface now, just like the Zon does. And so he's getting out of the titanium frame lock game. I guess you could still consider this titanium frame lock, because this is a titanium frame that comprises of the lock, but the actual interface is a ceramic ball. Out of the people still doing true titanium frame locks where titanium galls up against steel and that's your interface, Strider is it. I have yet to have one that has any play, any rock, slips at all, out of a fairly large sample size. And that's why I wanted to show all these, because I do have a fairly large sample size. I would say this is a bigger sample size than most people. I'm sure some out there, many out there, have many more Striders than I do, but they don't make videos. So that's why I wanted to present this. And I'm sure dealers, if they had the foresight to actually take down data on every knife that they got, would trump this sample size exponentially. But they don't do that. So out of these Striders here, and the ones I've had before this one that I've sold of the new generation, they've been perfect. I have yet to have one that had any lock, rock, slip. None of them failed. None of them jammed over to the other side. It just doesn't happen. So after these wear in, they are excellent. They're going to last forever. That's a relative term. I can say they will last forever because Strider will replace them if there's anything wrong. But they are very, very, very good knives, and they've really stepped their game up. And I made one of these videos before, but I didn't specifically talk about the lockup and the changes that have happened, and didn't have that big of a sample size before. So kind of wanted to remake this video to show that these are some of the better knives available now. I would say definitely in the top 3 as far as production makers. A lot of people say they're all hype, which I'm not going to get into that, but they obviously aren't all hype. If they're made this well consistently, and they have that great of warranty, they're not all hype. Not many people out there use them, that's for sure. Definitely not many people out there use them, but that doesn't matter. There are some that get out there and prove what they can do, and I plan to do that pretty soon. when the weather warms up, I want to put together some stuff and hopefully shoot some torture tests on one of these. I'm going to pick the one that I like the least and kind of beat it up and see what all it can take, and then shoot it back to Strider and get it fixed. So anyway, don't want to drone on with this for too long. I hope you guys got something out of this, and if you've been shy about Striders before or just wasn't sure about it, give them a shot. It's a knife that has a lot of soul, a lot of walk and talk, and there's just something about them. They're not the most refined, but out of everybody that's on them, they always say there's just something about them, and there really is. So give them a shot and see how you like them, and if you hate it, then sell it to me. But anyway, thanks guys. Check out MattD for sure. Again, I'll put the link to his site in the description, and so check out his site and keep an eye on it, because he does get some really, really interesting stuff in. But anyway, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you next time.